Good morning, welcome to today's webinar. Today's webinar is an international webinar, and we're going to talk to you today about Organo Gold. It is one of the most exciting, fastest business opportunities that is available today. This business is expanding so much. This webinar that we're actually doing this morning, we have people from Australia and Thailand and New Zealand, Greece, Spain. It is absolutely incredible what is happening, the explosion that is happening. And why is it happening? And the reason is there are so many people who are realizing the only way to get ahead in business today, the only way to secure your financial future is to work for yourself. And we're going to show you something that is easy, that is simple, and it's coffee. And I think the next 30 minutes will really change your life. It certainly changed your life. We heard about this opportunity and we were absolutely blown away by it. And when we started to actually just talk to a few people, it was like being on holiday. We've always been in business for ourselves. This was like a holiday. If you're prepared to put the hours in, this really is going to create millionaires for people in an economy where people are saying, what's going on? All that's going on is a transfer of wealth, and you really are in the right place at the right time with Organo Gold. To be successful, you do need three good components. The first of all is product, and we'll talk to you more about that in a short while, but it's coffee. The next one is you've got to have something exclusive, and thirdly, you've got to have the right leadership. Excuse me. Now, Bernie Chow, who actually drives this business, it is so rare to have somebody driving a business that's actually done it. The majority of people read a book, listen to a CD, don't go and practice, don't try the practical skills and say this is how you do it. This guy had a team of over 500,000 members. He really, really knows what to do. And the deal is quite simple. Is to get the best tasting gourmet coffee that's available on the market today. We have a really big visionary leader running this company. As far as I'm concerned, as far as my wife is concerned, and we're in this together, we also have a very, very strong up lead. And we're led by one of the top network marketers in the whole world today. And you will certainly get to hear about him down the road. It is absolutely the right time at the right place. Now, people say, oh, is coffee a luxury? In today's climate, people are cutting back. There is research out to say there is 4 things that people will not give up. First of all is cigarettes. Second is alcohol. Third is coffee. And fourth is cosmetics. So is coffee a luxury? Absolutely not. This is an international call, but in the UK we have a big brand called Starbucks. Starbucks have announced that they cannot keep up the demand for the coffee. They are taking on an extra 5,000 people this year just to cope with the demand. We have a big production of coffee, a big factory called Nestle. They make chocolate and coffee. They have recently announced in the last 4 weeks they are increasing their production from 12 hours to 24 hours. They cannot keep up the demand for coffee. Coffee is the most consumed drink next to water. It is absolutely incredible. So is coffee a luxury? No. It's something that happens every single day. Now, what's so special about our coffee then? Well, we've got Ganoderma in it. And what I would suggest you do is go and Google Ganoderma if you haven't already. But I'm sure the person who invited you on this call will have said, go and check out Ganoderma before you join the call. It has over 4,000 years of history. And it was at one time reserved just for royalty. It is an absolutely incredible herb. If you start drinking this coffee, this herb, you feel fantastic. It's called the King of Herbs by the Chinese, or the miracle herb. It makes you feel absolutely fantastic. If you haven't, Google it. Google it as soon as this call finishes and you'll know why we have such a powerful ingredient in such a delicious coffee. Here's something else that's special as well. You will find Ganoderma around in other products. But with Organo Gold, we have 100% certified organic Ganoderma. What does that mean? Well, it's like everything. As soon as something is recognized as being good for you, then people try and mass produce it in the cheapest possible way. So some people do actually grow the Ganoderma in plastic bags. It does not have the same properties as if it's grown organically, naturally. The one that we use is actually grown on a log, the original way it was. It is 100% certified organic. Now, if I just talk you through some of the products that are available, and in different countries we have a different product range, but today we're just going to talk through the basic. The basic, first of all, is the black coffee. Now, I don't know whether you've had black coffee, but a lot of black coffee out there is bitter. This is smooth. It tastes delicious. You know, it's very simple. You can carry this with you. You can see the sachet. All you do is tear it open, pop it in a cup, add the water. We travel 5 days a week at this moment as a minimum. Just recently I travelled Europe. I'm shortly off to America. You know, I carry these sachets with me, and everywhere I go, I just say to people, oh, could I have a cup of hot water? Even in the big Starbucks, can I have water? Sure, I don't charge you for it, and all you do is empty the contents in. It is so convenient, and away you go. This is my favourite, which is the latte. Absolutely incredible. It tastes delicious. And again, all you have to do is just open the sachet, add water, and away you go, you drink. And don't forget, all of these products have Ganoderma in there. And what this actually does, I actually have this before I go to the gym in the morning, because my wife said to me, you know, it's time you lost weight. So I thought, okay, I better lose some weight then, because she knows best. And so I have this before I go to the gym. It fires you up. It does the same that high caffeinated coffees does, but it has not got it in, as you'll see them, and it's a very low caffeine based product. So the actual Ganoderma really, really does give you a sense of well-being. This is true for me. This is my life that I used to do. I used to buy 3 lattes a day, and from Starbucks. It cost me £2.50. That's £7.50 a day, £50 a week, £200 a month, or £2,500 a year. Now, I switched to Organo Gold, and I have to be honest, when I first heard about this, you know, I heard that there was a really big networker who I know who was involved in it. I thought, if he's involved, it's got to be something about this, so let's try it. But I didn't believe that I could actually get anything to beat this brand I used to drink. I drank it, I was so surprised. I switched to Organo Gold. I still have 3 a day, and sometimes even 4 now because I can afford it. It costs an average of 60p or £1.80 a day. It gives me a saving of coffee alone of £2,000. Now just think about it. If there is hard times going on there, if there is a transfer of wealth going on there, if people are not going to give up coffee, if you can offer them a healthy coffee, and you can actually say to them, you know, it's 1/3 of the price of the high street, don't you think you're in the right place at the right time? Can you see why this business is exploding out of control? It probably is time that you took the coffee test, and if you haven't tried it, certainly get back to the person who invited you on this webinar today. Now this one here is dessert in a cup. For those people that like hot chocolate and coffee, it's great after dinner. I have to say, people drink it all day, every day. All of our products are the same. You tear open the sachet, just add the hot water. It is so convenient. So many people like this drink. It's a cross between coffee and hot chocolate. And if you go down the high street, you'll see that typically this product is out there massively because people really do like it. Our product range is absolutely phenomenal. And we're just going through some of the drinks that are available. There are other products available. Now the hot chocolate, we have 4 daughters, and we got them to try this hot chocolate because they're a good test. You know, I mean, people always tell you what they want you to hear, but your own family tell you the truth. We got them to try this. We now have to hide it, because if we didn't, they'd drink it all day, every day. It's a delicious drink. All of our drinks as well are healthy. It really is absolutely incredible. We are bringing gourmet products to the market at 1/3 of the price that they normally are in the high street. And then we have green tea, and if anyone's ever had green tea before, and I've drank plenty of it, then this one here is smooth. It tastes great. You know, you really, really have to try these products. And if you go and have a look around and say, well, what's around and what's really the comparison? Well, most coffee brands use a Robusta bean. It's a cheaper bean. It leaves an aftertaste. You know, you'll notice in all the coffee shops, they sell mints, and the reason being is you get that horrible tongue tasty feel afterwards, and that's because of this cheaper bean. It has traditionally got 40 to 50% higher caffeine content than the counterpart, which is the Arabica bean, which is the one we actually use in our coffee. Now, people say to me, hey Ian, is this decaf then? Let me tell you, this is not decaf. This is just quality coffee at its best. And because we use the quality bean, it is naturally low in caffeine. And here's the big difference. I can actually drink this just before I go to bed, and I sleep like a baby. I only survive on 4 or 5 hours sleep. That's all I need. It doesn't matter. Now if I was to have the traditional coffee that's available in the high street, the high caffeinated ones, if I have 3, I get the shakes. It affects my nervous system. It makes me anxious. It's just me, yeah. And I daren't have anything other than decaf after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If it's not decaf, I can't have it after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is the high street coffee. With this one, I can actually drink it naturally just before I go to bed. It has no effect. It actually makes me sleep better. This really is great. There's so many people who say, oh, I can't drink coffee from the high street, that are trying our coffee and saying, yeah, this is great. I believe we have the business opportunity of the century. I really believe there is no other opportunity out there like there is at the moment. Look at the market potential, over 255 million coffee drinkers in North America alone. And think about it, we have people today from Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, Greece, Spain, everywhere on this call. The market for America alone, 255 million coffee drinkers, 500 million cups of coffee a day. Imagine if we just got 1% of that market. And people generally drink 3 to 5 cups a day. I'm normal. It is. It's what happens. I'm paying up to $4 a cup. If you're on this call from America, there's not too many because it's the middle of the night. But if you are, it works out about $1 a cup for you. It really is a business opportunity where you're in the right place at the right time. And you can capitalize on this growth industry. As we know, coffee is growing out of control. More and more people are looking for a home-based business. You can join our business immediately after this call, and you can start to trade. You don't have to wait around. There are so many people always searching, looking for a business opportunity. More people are now realizing, I need a business opportunity. I can work from home. I need to be in charge of my own destiny. The days of working for the big corporations and saying I have a safe job have gone. I remember a job is J-O-B, just over broke. Now, the health and wellness industry is growing at a phenomenal pace, and I'll show you some statistics in a short while. We can easily fit into that market. The weight loss program, we have less fat, we have less sugar than anything else that's available there on the market, so we can actually, that market is a great market for us as well. And for the people that really want to build an internet business, you join our business today, you will get your own website provided by the company within round about 10 seconds of pressing the button and joining our business. We really do have all of these markets ready to capitalize on. But you've got to ask yourself, what would be a perfect business for you? Well, maybe a business where you cannot be made redundant. The only person who can make you redundant in our business is yourself. We are in the fastest growth market area that's available today. You can decide when you want to retire. We've all heard in the last few weeks that the UK government says we now have to work towards 67 before we can retire. Why don't you retire yourself when you want to? You decide the level of income you want to retire on, and we can actually put a plan together to make that happen with you. You have a worldwide business. Now imagine if you go and look down the high street now, and we have McCaff's available, and we have like Dunkin' Donuts, and all of these places, they are all changing their signs. They have all now got coffee because everybody wants to drink coffee. Imagine going and buying one of those franchises down the high street and saying, oh, how much will it cost? It will cost you hundreds and thousands of pounds. Even the small ones will cost you $10,000s of pounds. We're going to show you about a business opportunity that's got very low startup costs, where your earnings are directly related. So many people say to me, I wish I could be paid what I'm worth. You can. There is no one to block you in this business. You certainly get paid on your effort. Regarding stock, is the stock to hold? No. Is there any deliveries to hold? No. But what I would suggest is that you do keep some. Because people will say to you today, hey, I'd like to join your business, but I want to get started. I don't want to wait for a delivery. You say, fine, here's a couple of boxes. Buy them off me today and get started. So it's wise to have some product around. It's not mandatory by the company, but it's wise. And sometimes wisdom plays a great big part. And you will be in partnership with one of the fastest growing markets in the world. The distribution model that we actually use to take this product to the market is called network marketing. It's the modern way. More and more companies are moving more of their product range to this facility. It costs less than traditional retailing. It means the person who's actually doing the job can get paid for their efforts rather than some big person who just controls you with a stick. It's an absolutely wonderful way to have a international business and infrastructure in place. You decide to join our business today. As soon as your application form is submitted online, you are now ready to trade in your business in 13 countries in the world, and this is shortly going to go to 30 countries. So you can sit at home like now. I'm actually sat in the UK and I'm talking to people in Australia, Thailand, New Zealand, Greece, Spain. There is no other business out there whatsoever, and you really get the rewards and for the effort that you put in. But people do always say to me, I've heard about pyramid sales, and I say, well, what is it? Say, well, it's a pyramid sort of shape, and that's right. Well, let me just tell you one thing. Look at a standard business model. You have CEO, you have managers, you have staff. If you drew around the outside of their infrastructure, it would look like a pyramid. Even a school, draw around the outside, it would look like a pyramid. In the UK, our government, draw around its infrastructure, it's a pyramid shape. It doesn't matter what you're doing. All we are as network marketing is a retail business direct to the consumer. And if you start to look at some of the statistics, where people say, well, how much volume is there that's actually sold this way? Just look at the growth. Now, these are based on America alone. It's the Direct Sales Association produced these results. 28 billion in sales was generated in the US alone. And we just had a program on in the UK TV, and it said that more and more people are now switching to this thing called network marketing. Does that surprise us? Not at all. And if we actually look at the breakdown, when I joined this industry a few years ago, Party Plan was always the big seller. It was massive out there. And network marketing, person-to-personal selling was the bottom, less than 1% actually. Now look at the swing. 63% of people buy their products through this mechanism. It really is a program where people say, yeah, we know it's out there, we know it works. And let me tell you now, it is so unique to have a product that is actually less than it costs to buy in the high street. Why is this market growing so fast? Well, the wellness revolution has taken part. More and more people are actually starting to look after their bodies. If we could say to you, hey, we've got a coffee that's low in caffeine, that's not going to keep you awake at night, that's not going to make you shake, surely that has to be right. And more people are really now saying, okay, I'm not just going to buy anything, I'm going to buy the healthy version. And that's exactly where we are. Now, in the UK, the business investment is £187. It is typical the same in your local currency. You get started, it's £187. We have an absolutely great business investment for people outside of the UK, but for the UK we have this thing where you have to start in this process because the UK government likes to control us. But we have an absolutely incredible business opportunity. It costs £187. You pay £187. You are in business today. You have your website today. You can trade in 13 countries at the press of a button. And the person who invited you on this call will be waiting for you. As soon as you finish this call, get in touch with them and get started in this absolutely incredible, fast-growing business. It's secured with products, samples and marketing materials. You could sell the products if you want to. What I would suggest you do on this small pack is just use it for samples. The more samples you put out, the more success you will get. People like to try it. They try it, they buy it. We offer unlimited personal business coaching, and as I said earlier, you can actually trade in all 13 countries. You only register in one. So what support do we offer? Well, we offer ongoing training. You get a website that's immediately, you decide to join our business, you press the button, your website is there waiting for you. You can go and start to promote it. We offer personal development. We do this type of business opportunity locally all over the world, in 13 countries we're opening in. We do webinars, we do training calls, we do Skype calls. We have an absolutely massive toolbox to help you, to encourage you to be successful. You've got to ask yourself with anything today, what is the risk? If you were to go and buy a franchise down the high street, what is the risk? The risk is tens of thousands of pounds. With our business, we have very, very low startup costs. You start trading, you start making profit from day one. And you are in business for yourself, but under the Organo Gold umbrella. Now we have 7, in fact we have 8 ways to get paid now, and I'm just going to cover just off a few of them with you, because the person who invited you on the call tonight will go in further depth. I mean, first of all, you decide to join our business, you buy the coffee at the wholesale price, and it's your business. You decide how much you place on the retail price of this business. You are in charge of that. People make up to 500% profit. But you decide exactly how much retail profit you want to make. We also, because you're bringing people into the business, there's 3 different levels they can come. In the UK, you can only join at the bronze, but everywhere else, I suggest that you join at the gold level. By introducing people into business, you are paid a bonus to train and help and develop them of up to £100. Now, can you imagine the growth that we are seeing, the speed that we're growing? This business is going to go to 1.5 billion in the next 3 years. Can you imagine the volume of sales going through? Can you just imagine that? You know, and you can be paid part of it. You know, you bring people into the business, you are paid a training bonus on every time they buy a pack to help them, to encourage them, to motivate them, to drive your business forward. We also have something called a dual income plan, which is absolutely incredible and unique to this industry. Some people say to me, oh Ian, this is binary. Let me tell you, this is different. And the reason it's different is for this reason. Every time someone is enrolled into this business, it's into 2 legs. The person above us just has 2 legs. We're one of those legs. It's in everyone's interest to put people into this dual system. No matter who recruited these people, if they're placed beneath you, you benefit in the dual system. And how it works is quite simple. Is every time someone is put into the system, they buy a pack and place their first automatic order, the volume goes underneath you if that's where they're positioned. Each week, the system will add up how much volume you've got in your left leg, how much you've got in your right leg. Now, if you're bronze, it will pay you 10% of your lowest leg. So for this example, it will pay you 10% of the 15,000. If you're gold, it will pay you 10% of the other leg on the 15,000 as well. So you'll get 20% or £3,000. Where this is absolutely unique though, because in the right leg here, there's 20,000. We're paying on 15,000. The other 5,000 remains there for next week. So you start off already with 5,000 in that other leg, and that will stay there each week while you keep your business qualified. And every week the same process is applied. It's incredible. A huge amount of money can be earned from here. And for people who you personally enroll, they become part of your uni-level system. And what that means is as they place orders, as they enroll people, that all becomes part of your volume. Now, for all of the automatic orders going forward and the one-time orders, they all get fed into here if they're people who you have personally enrolled and people they've enrolled. This pays 9 levels deep, which is absolutely unique in this industry. It is fantastic. It's like every time someone plays a record, somebody gets paid for it. It's called residual income. That is the same here. Once you've enrolled somebody, anytime people buy products underneath their business, you get paid for it. This equates to millions of pounds worth of income. And the person who invited you on here will be able to actually talk you through that in greater depth. What I would say, is get back to the person who invited you on this call this morning. You know, for some people it's afternoon, for some people it's evening, and for the UK people it's first thing in the morning. This is one of the most amazing opportunities I have ever come across. You know, and if you think of it, you know, we had big things happen like Apple and Microsoft, and people always said, oh, well, it's going to be okay. How many people now wish they got involved with those type of business? This business is growing at a faster pace. Everybody drinks coffee, tea, latte. And ask yourself this question. Could you ask people, do you or anyone you know drink tea, coffee, latte, mocha or hot chocolate? Could you ask that question? And if you ask that question of yourself, do you know anyone who drinks tea, coffee, latte, mocha or hot chocolate? If the answer is yes, that is the market that's available to us out there. Where we are absolutely unique, why this business is growing out of control, why it is growing at such a phenomenal pace. Traditionally, with network marketing, the product is more expensive than the high street. We have a product that's a third of the price that people can buy in the high street. Go and have a look. They queue in coffee shops to pay £2.50 for a cup of coffee. We can give them a latte for 60p that's healthy. They can also enjoy it at home. And I'll just finish with one true story. On Christmas Eve, we had 3 people come and fetch coffee from our home because they rang me up and said, we need the coffee for Christmas. And I said, I can't get it to you. One person travelled 60 miles to come and fetch their coffee. Absolutely incredible. And the other side of that is we have parcels coming to our home every day by UPS. This business grows so fast he has to deliver every day. He's asking me, what's in all these boxes? And I say, oh, it's coffee. Do you or anyone you know drink tea, coffee? He said, yeah, well, we do. Okay, here's a sample, take it home. And then the next day I said to him, you know, all I want to do is ask you 2 questions. Did you like the taste and how did it make you feel? You know, and he said, oh, we liked it. It made us feel quite good. And so I said, would you like to buy some? And then the next part of the training comes, you know, that guy from UPS now is one of our top enrollers. He retires in 5 years. At UPS, he's going to retire broke. He just about pays his bills. He's using Organo Gold. He's not going to give up UPS. He's using Organo Gold as his pension fund. Absolutely incredible. If you can see somebody walking past now, if you can think of anybody, they are going to drink one of these drinks. That is the huge market. And remember, all you have to do is ask them, do you or anybody you know drink tea, coffee, latte, mocha, or hot chocolate? That is your marketplace. You really today have been at the right place at the right time. What I would suggest you do is get back to the person who invited you on this call. Join our business. These calls are weekly. We'll be having another one next week. Bring your guests along with you. We will do the same presentation. The person who's invited you here will help you. Have an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon or evening, depending where you're calling from. Make a big decision today. Join our business. Join one of the fastest growing businesses in the world and secure your financial future with Organo Gold.